Hi, I'm Raj, having around 10 years experience in SAP FICO. I've done implementation, support, upgradation projects in SAP FICO. I worked from 4.6, 4.6C, 4.7, ECC 5.0, ECC 6.0, and now SAP has released a new version with SAP Simple Finance with HANA Database. I've trained more than 200 people in SAP FICO. Now I've started my training in Simple Finance, which is SAP has released recently with HANA Database. So why SAP has, what is SAP HANA? What is this HANA Database? Let's understand as a part of a demo session. As I said earlier, SAP is what as I said, I worked with 4.6, 4.6C, 4.7, ECC 5.0. Every to version, there were upgradation in the functionalities. When it comes from ECC 5.0 to ECC 6.0, there was a new concept introduced from SAP called a new GL accounting. So, so as soon as you upgrade from ECC 5.0 to ECC 6.0 with a technical upgrade, there is a functionality available in ECC 6.0 called new GL accounting. So if you want to activate the new GL accounting, we add a project called a data migration project where we migrate data from GLT0 to Flagel Flexa and Flagel FlexT. These are the two tables released by the SAP, and in this project we migrate data from GLT02 to Flagel Flexa and Flagel FlexT. I'm just briefing out that new GL concept here. So to do this, SAP has given a tool called Migration Cockpit, which is a licensed version where SAP will install that tool in our system, and we migrate data from GLT0 to Flagel Flexa to Flagel FlexT. But some of the companies would not have been still using the new GL accounting. They are still with the classic GL accounting. In the new GL accounting, we have a concepts of document splitting, leading ledger, segment reporting. So all these functionalities which reduces the month-end activities to perform in SAP system. If you are using classic GL, we will be using in the month-end F.5E 1KEK to push the balances to PCA. But in the new GL accounting, the data flow to profit center accounting in online with a document splitting functionality. This was reduced the month-end activities in the application in SAP application. So SAP was doing all the enhancement in the application side till ECC 6.0. Now SAP was till ECC 6.0, SAP was using the database of Oracle, or it will be using the database of SQL in order as a backend tool. So these two products are not of the SAP product, and sorry, SQL. These two are Oracle and SQL is a third party database. That means it is not owned by the SAP. So whatever the revenue was SAP getting, they used to share with Oracle and SQL. Now with SAP HANA, SAP itself introduced its own database by HANA. So that means the Oracle and SQL database were the traditional database. In HANA database, SAP has done a major changes in order to do the fast retrieval of data. See, application wise SAP is more stable now. So as the company uses SAP, the data in the tables will keep growing. So in the month end and the year end, to get the report, to execute the transactions, there were a lot of time consuming. So SAP has come up with its own HANA database by using the existing functionalities of the database, where the data will be retrieved from the database very faster in the HANA database. It is in HANA database we add a concept of in memory, and the data are stored in columnar database. In case of Oracle and SQL, the data were used to show it in row based. In case of HANA, it will be in the form of columnar database. which makes to retrieve the data faster. And in the ECC 6.0 and all, if I take an example, we had a table called BKPF, BSEG, and we had a separate tables for clear items, open items. So when I generate any accounting document, any vendor invoice, if I generate, it will save it in BKPF, it will save it in BSEG table, and if it will go and save it in open item table also. And once I did the payment, okay, then it will come to the cleared item. See, the data redundancy, the duplication of record exists. Why we want a different table to store the open item? Instead, you should have a column in the BSEG where you can maintain a field with open cleared. We can do, but it was not happening in the earlier. So in the HANA database, SAP has removed the tables, aggregation tables, indexes, has removed, and it has made a universal journal table called AC.K, where it will save all the documents. And here there is no difference between FICO postings and all. Anyhow, we will discuss that on how AC.K, how universal journal will work in detail. See, if I come to SAP HANA roadmap, see here SAP HANA as a great simplifier for enterprise software. In 2011, how the SAP HANA has started. So in 2011, so SAP has started with in-memory platform with where SAP only the database has been introduced. Then in 2012, SAP HANA is applied for business warehouse and with real-time analysis and real-time reporting. BI is a tool where we do the reporting of the tool. In 2013, we have a concept of OLAP and OLTP. That means both function. OLAP means our functional transaction, whatever we do, FISD and all, will go and sit it in the database of HANA. And normally in the present system, what we are doing, whatever data we save, it will go and sit in a database, and we migrate or we transfer the data in the month end to BI system. That means the same data is getting copying to the BI system for reporting in the BI. In case of HANA, it is not required that activity. That means the same HANA database, that application, whatever you are posting from FI, SD functional modules, from there only OLTP, BI system will get connect to the same database and do the reporting. That means a data transfer activity that is a time consuming, and sometimes discrepancy arises. So all those things are avoided in the SAP HANA. So at any point of time, see, every time you need to wait the month end, transfer the data to BI and do the reporting in BI in the traditional database. With this SAP HANA database, at any point of time, BI can do the reporting because it point out to the same database where we are posting the transaction. So that is what got introduced in 2013, where SAP has come up with the database where it connects both OLAP and OLTP. Then in 2014, instant financial insight, no aggregate single source, no aggregate. That means a single SAP has released its first Simple Finance powered by SAP HANA. It has released a Simple Finance application, SAP Simple Finance, in 2014. In that, we say SAP Simple Finance 1.0, where there were no aggregates. No aggregate means, see, Faggle, FlexT, GLT0, these are the total tables. SAP says why you want to save the totals in the database with the HANA application. Previously in Oracle, we used to save the totals in the tables. Here it says don't save any totals in the table. Whenever you need a total, it will be calculated on the fly. So this reduces the data storage in the table, and also retrieval of data is faster than the traditional way of doing it. And here we will discuss that how it is been done in that, and whatever the tables is there, they are not deleted, they are converted into views. For example, BSAS, BSAK, Faggle Flexa, Faggle FlexT, these are created as a views. They mean now they are tables, they are converted as a views in SAP HANA with Simple Finance. Now, in 2015, SAP has come up with a new version called SAP S/4HANA, which is simplified data module with new user experience, advanced processing, choice of deployment multi-tenancy. SAP S/4HANA is the next generation business suite to help line of business and industry run simple with all that only HANA can do. SAP S/4HANA combines the most recent innovations, SAP HANA platform, SAP Fiori. Fiori is nothing but a mobile application. So with SAP S/4HANA, SAP has introduced a Fiori, a mobile application or a web-based application where end users can do the postings with the simplified UI designs. With 40 years of experience in mastering complex industry challenges in new suite that caters to digital network economy. What is the vision of SAP HANA? A common database approach for online transaction processing, OLTP, and online analytical processing. See, OLTP is online transaction processing. Whatever you post from the functional side like FICO, MMSD, and online analytical process OLAP using in-memory column database. Using in-memory column database means SAP HANA is having a functionality of storing the data in memory, and it stores data in column based. See here, initially, if you say a traditional way, here you are saving you will be having 3 copies of data in data model 3 copies of data. One is transactions, then for analyzing reporting, then to accelerate. 3 ways it is been stored. 3 copies were stored the data. What is the purpose of keeping the same data 3 copies? It was inherent data latency and poor innovation leading to wastage. With the SAP HANA database, one individual copy of all data transaction plus analysis all in memory. Eliminate unnecessary complexity and latency, less hardware to manage, accelerated through innovation, simplification plus in memory. So the vision of SAP HANA is to have one database where you can connect to OLAP and OLTP so that the data retrieval will be faster. Next, modern. See, why you may ask question, why SAP is now come up with SAP HANA? Why it didn't came up earlier with this before when they are doing the earlier version release? Why? The reason is there have been leaps in software and hardware architecture in last 20 to 30 years since traditional model was introduced. Today, we have a multi-core processors with huge L3 cache, and we have 64-bit address architecture that currently supports 12 terabyte in current server to be processed at the same time. So that much capacity is having in the current hardware component. In software, we have a new logics with SQL and old database architecture and improvement. So now you can process all of this in memory in parallel with very huge singular strong server with very large amount of memory, dramatic decrease in the server price. This lead to a dramatic decrease in the server prices. Today, if you say that today server price is decreased compared to 5 to 10 years because of, compared to the 5 to 10 years, the traditional disk, whatever we are using the traditional disk now, you can use that in order to keep the backup and store the data. So this is like the how SAP HANA database is designed, or why we use the HANA database, the purpose. So we will be going in detail and understand how HANA database and what is Simple Finance, how we migrate data from Simple Finance from traditional database to Simple Finance. Let me come back to syllabus and brief you the things what we cover in the next 20 to 25 hours of session. So I'll be talking first on introduction to SAP HANA, like what is SAP HANA, and then SAP HANA was a database, and now as Simple Finance add-on come in, and with Fiori it is saying as SAP S4 HANA. So we will be talking on why SAP S4 HANA and what all the things we will talk on that. And then we come up with overview of Simple Finance. When you have an HANA database, then only you can have a Simple Finance can be implemented on HANA database only. So first, the database migration should happen parallelly in this project. So I'll come to that. So in SAP we have in Simple Finance we have a single source of truth called Universal Journal. So we were using a different tables, that there was a duplication of data, there are a multiple, the same data saves in multiple tables. So it avoids all those things by deleting all those tables and creating them as a view, and it will be creating one single table called AC.K, where FI, CO, MM, asset accounting, all the documents will get posted in that table. Previously, we had a separate called FI and CO. We used to say a GL account, and I'll come to that. When we come to the customization changes for GL, we have an GL account and we used to convert them as a cost element, automatic creation of cost element. With Simple Finance Interaction, we will not be having a separation of FI and CO. So whatever cost elements are there, we will be creating as primary cost element. Earlier also we were creating it as a primary cost GL account. The secondary cost elements are now created as a GL account, and they are treating as a secondary cost element. So that means there will not be any FI and CO differentiation in transaction. So because all will get saved in a single table, and there is no CO FI reconciliation. Like in the classic GL, we used to post a transaction, and we used to run in the month end to make COFI reconciliation. In new GL, we have an online COFI reconciliation. Whenever you do any secondary posting, the corresponding FI accounts linked to it will be getting and posted. But with this Simple Finance Interaction, there will not be any kind. So all will get saved in a single table. Coming to the asset accounting changes, here we have to implement EFIN. Okay. Previously we were using the asset accounting in the new GL. So in the new GL, some people will be using classic asset accounting only, or you have an option of activating EFIN called new asset accounting only. But when you come to Simple Finance, it is mandatory that you cannot go with a classic accounting anymore, classic asset accounting anymore. You should always use new asset accounting. So a new asset accounting is mandatory for a Simple Finance. So what is new asset accounting? Okay, how it calculate the depreciations, what are the changes happen. Okay, so how the depreciation areas are configured, according to the company code currency. So all those things in detail configuration we will see in the new asset accounting class. Then what are the changes in coming to controlling? So as I said, there will not be any FI and CO. It all come under one table called AC.K. And coming to COPA, as we are saving everything accounts in AC.K table, whatever the characteristics linked to it will be created as a columns in AC.K table, and we are supposed to implement a mandatorily account-based COPA in the Simple Finance. If you are using costing-based COPA, it's fine. You can continue with that, but mandatorily a company should go for an account-based COPA in Simple Finance. Then see, these are all the configuration and whatever the changes. So basically, and with the configurations are ready, we can migrate data from whatever traditional database to the HANA database. For this, SAP itself has given a tool when a Simple Finance add-on, when the SAP Simple Finance add-on get installed, okay, on it. So it will create a path menu in the SAP screen. I'll show that where you have a tool which migrate data. You need to execute the steps so that the data will move from the class whatever the traditional database to the SAP HANA database. I'll show the steps in the system. When we go for a class, we will go in detail and understand how those steps are executed in order to migrate the data. Then we had a concept called central finance system. Like if you have a complex landscape in your organization setup, and instead of upgrading all those to SAP S4 HANA database, we can have a separate platform for HANA database, and we integrate that to HANA database with SAP Simple Finance application, which is a separate instance, and we do reporting in that. That means all your complex database are get integrated to this system, and whenever you do any transaction from there, it will flow to your central finance system, where we have as AC doc A, whatever the functionalities we are telling of Simple Finance will be available in that instance, and we do the reporting in that instance to make the faster retrieval of report. Then appendix ledger. So appendix ledger is a staple on the above the leading ledger. Like if you are using the new GL accounting, so we'll be having a concept called leading ledger, non-leading ledger. Other than non-leading ledger, we have an appendix ledger where you will staple that on the above of the leading ledgers or the non-leading ledgers. So there is a configuration for that. So I'll be showing that how appendix ledgers are used. And we will be discussing on the cash management, overview on the cash management. So as we have as we have a Simple Finance S4 HANA, SAP has changed done some enhancements with respect to cash management and also integrated business planning. So we will be going through overview of it, what all the changes happen. We will be not going in detail application because it comes under treasury, cash, liquidity management, and all will come there. Then we will be talking on SAP Fiori. As I said, Fiori is a mobile and web-based application. So how the users can use that and how the transactions are posted by using Fiori. You can have your own customized Fiori applications. So we will discuss that overview on SAP Fiori. So let me come to the SAP in order to show it to you. I'm logging to the SAP. Let me log off from here. So this is the HANA powered application. So I'll say HANA SAP 123. Yeah. So here I'll go to the to show you the HANA database. I'll just go here system status. See here HDB HANA database system. Okay. So as I said, if I go to the tables, I said whatever the redundancy tables, like I'll go to SC16N/N SC16N. If I show the tables, for example, Pagal Flexa, Pagal, well, anyway, we'll see all this in detail later. See, general table for view. Pagal FlexT is treated as a views. It is not a table. The same way, whatever the BSIS, if I say, so these are the tables which will get removed and used as a views. Even if you created it as a views, whatever the existing program interface are working, it will get work. For example, if I am deriving a report from BSIS, I do in a Z report or a Z program, I don't need to change anything in that, because I'll say BSIS, so it will come to this view, and this view internally redirect to the AC docket table and get the value from it and display it. If you are inserting any particular record to the BSIS, for example, if you are inserting the data with any program, Z program, then that should be changed and should get inserted to AC docket table. Retrieving of data will not have any problem because these are created as a views, and in turn it will redirect to the AC docket table and get the values. But while inserting statement, you should directly insert. You have to change the program to insert to directly to AC docket table. So AC docket is a table which is called a universal journal, where you will have all the fields, like you can see here, all the set of fields including FICO, material ledger related. Here we can have a controlling area, segment, profit center, cost center. So you'll have all the data AC docket table, which stores all the lines whatever you posted as an accounting entry. It will store all the data, and you can create your own customized field if required. Okay, so we will discuss on all this, like AC doc A, what are the tables it will go, how they are created as a views. So all those things we will discuss when we start up the syllabus. So I just wanted to show you the migration tool from a traditional database to the SAP HANA database. So once we have installed this SAP Simple Finance, like SAP S4 HANA to your existing SAP instance, okay, so it will be created here the icon SAP Simple Finance add-on on SAP Business Suite powered by HANA. Okay, so here is the steps, preparation steps, okay, and then you have a migration steps. So these are the steps we need to do in order to move the data from from traditional database to the HANA database. So prior to this, we need to take some action like completing the configurations. So what all the pre-checks should be done, what are the post-checks should be done. So all those things to migrate this will be done. See, in the new GL accounting, for example, if you want to migrate the new GL accounting, we would normally used to say that we need to do at the year end, after year end closing. So for this HANA database migration, you don't need to wait for any year end. After closing the month end, say for example, I'm closing the February month end or the March month end. So the next day we can lock the periods, we can lock the transactions and do the migration. See, you have a question like we are in classic GL, how to go to HANA database, or if you are in new GL, you can go directly to HANA database. From SAP EHP 7.0, ECC EHP 7.0, we can directly go to the HANA database, either from the classic GL or the new GL. When you say classic GL, whatever the defined functionality should be there, it get automatically activated when we do to the HANA database, except the document splitting and the ledger concepts. Okay, so that for that you need to do. Otherwise, people's like from classic GL you need to do in the year end to the new GL, and from there you have to come to HANA database because it takes a long time of period to complete that. So SAP has an option to come from classic GL directly to the HANA database, or from the new GL to HANA database. So this session will go for 20 to 25 hours, and daily I'll be taking 1 hour session. I'll be explaining you the concepts in the Word document. I'll be preparing the presentations for the classes, and I'll explain and I'll be showing the steps in detail, what all the steps and all to be done, so that whatever we are discussing, the recorded videos will be recorded, and the recorded videos will be shared with you, and you will be getting access to the Simple Finance application with HANA database, and you can practice and come back to us for any doubt clarifications on the subject. So I've done one project in the migration of this, and I've done a training, and then I've done the migration. So I'm pretty comfortable with all the activities of SAP Simple Finance. So if you any guys like, if you when I'm doing classes, if you have any doubt at any point of time, you can point out to me, and you can clarify your doubts, or you can practice and come back to me for any doubt or clarifications. So that's all about the demo of the Simple Finance. So we will go in detail as I explained in my syllabus. So I'll be covering all those activities in detail to make sure you're comfortable in working with SAP with SAP Simple Finance migration data, or in the SAP Simple Finance application. So there are many other functionalities like in GL account and all, it's been changed. So we will talk all those things in detail when we start up the class. Thank you.